Welcome to TradingPennies.com Chart of the Week, where every week we will examine the trading strategy behind one of our explosive daily stocks picks. All of our strategies are covered in detail in our manual, Learn How Professionals Trade the Penny Stock Market, available at our site at trading-pennies.com. This week's chart is Environmental Solutions World, ticker symbol ESWW, a manufacturer of catalytic converters within the industrial machinery sector. What caught our attention in this stock was a tight base breakout above strong resistance from the underlying support of the ascending 20-period moving averages seen on the daily chart. As noted in our manual, the ascending 8 and 20-period moving average on the daily chart are the most favored amongst professional traders, and breakouts from and pullbacks into the ascending support of either of these two is one of the most watched points for profits and why we place this stock on our stock watch list. As always, once taking any position, we quickly turn to exit strategies and perform multiple time frame analysis looking for potential resistance levels, as this is always a concern of a trader when determining the risk to reward potential for any trade entered. On the monthly chart, we saw two up channels forming, a large 30-degree and a smaller 45-degree up channels whose upper boundaries appear to converge at the 0.55 price level on the current month's candle. We also noted a strong overhead resistance at the 0.55 price level and the overhead resistance of the descending monthly 40-period moving average. As such, we see the 0.55 price level to represent a major price level of convergence amongst patterns, and as such represents a key pivot point. As noted in our manual, professional traders look for convergence points among the various chart patterns, not in single time frames, but simultaneously in multiple time frames, as professionals think three-dimensionally, anticipating truly significant key pivot points in which to both enter and exit positions. It is at these key pivot points where the greatest volume of traders waiting to take action will be greatest, and points where market psychology is more apt to suddenly shift, and as such to trend in one's position. On the weekly chart, we see a pattern projection target at the 0.60 price level. As noted in our manual, the time frame in which a consolidation pattern develops is important to traders in that it often predicts the future price target of the stock and the time period in which it will take to reach this price target. As such, if we take the low and high of Environmental Solution World's consolidation pattern formed on the weekly chart, we see a low at the 0.10 price level and a high at the 0.35 price level, representing a 0.25 or 25-cent move. We then add this to the high of 0.35 and derive a potential pattern projection upside target of 0.60 price level. We also note a 45-degree up channel whose current upper boundary is at the 0.55 price level on the current weekly channel. Lastly, we see a strong overhead resistance of the descending 200-period moving average. Thus, like the monthly chart, we see strong pattern convergence at the 0.55 price level, which only strengthens it as a key pivot point in future trading. On the daily chart, we saw an initial price projection target at the 0.40 price level, which also represented a major price level resistance point. And with the subsequent break above this during Thursday's trade, we noted a price projection target at the 0.55 price level. We also note a large 30-degree up channel with an upper boundary at the 0.55 to 0.58 price level during Monday's trade if the stock continues its upside move. Thus, we see the 0.55 to 0.58 price level representing a price range of convergence amongst patterns on the daily basis and a key level to watch should the stock continue to the upside. As stated previously, we initially took position when Environmental Solutions World broke above prior significant resistance on a volume burst during morning trade on April 3rd, placing a stop loss just beneath the low of the most recent intraday consolidation at the 0.18 price level. The stock consolidated along the support of the ascending intraday 200-period moving average. Volume came into the stock last Wednesday, rising into near-term initial resistance at the 0.40 price level. We maintain our position as it closed above the support of our key 200-period moving average, showing no signs of distribution going into the close. The stock gapped open at a significant price resistance level of 0.45 during Thursday's trading, and where we sold a majority of our position into the accompanying volume. What our action on Monday's trade will be based on the price volume action of the stock about our key stop loss point, the underlying ascending 200-period moving average. As noted in our manual, we use the intraday moving average as our trailing stop loss point if one or both of these rules are violated. The first is that we will sell our remaining position if the 200-period moving average is broken by two successive candles in the time period we use on an intraday basis. The second is if the 200 period moving average is broken by a single candle accompanied by a significant volume. Projecting forward on an intraday basis, we see a pattern projection target at the 0.55 price level and a 45-degree up channel whose upper boundary appears to be at the 0.53 to 0.58 price level on Monday's trading should the stock move to the upside. Once again, we see a pattern convergence on the intraday charts at the 0.55 price level, which was also noted on all of the other multiple time frame charts. As such, should the stock move up to the upside during this week's trade, we will watch the price volume action extremely closely at this key pivot point. In closing, never project your beliefs onto the market, as the market is always right. Plan your work and work your plan, never violating your stop-loss rules, as you can always re-enter a trade. Until next week, from TradingPennies.com, this is Thomas McClellan, where our goal is to help you learn to become successful trading the penny stock market.